The Center for Garbage Control announced that over 90,000 Americans overdosed in 2020, the most in U.S. history. It's so weird, right? I wonder why. I wonder if it had anything to do with draconian lockdown measures. No, probably not. In San Francisco, aka the epicenter of wokeness, the medical examiner announced in April that more than twice the amount of people that died of the corona clap died of drug overdoses. In San Diego, overdoses on fentanyl more than tripled. That's so weird, right? Right near the border. It's so weird. I wonder where it came from. What is it? Facts? What now? What are those? What are facts? Oh, you mean there's repercussions for actions? Very peculiar. Drug overdose deaths were up 30% from 2019 to 2020, and since 1999, they're up 450%. It's also interesting to note that the pharmaceutical industry accounted for approximately 75% of all television ad spend in 2020. 75%. And to think that people get their news from the television. Holy opioid, Batman. They're certainly not creating demand for their products by inundating potential consumers with advertisements that convince them that they need treatment. That would be wild, right? That would be crazy. Meanwhile, on that exact same television on CBS This Morning, where they're definitely not fear-mongering and totally gaslighting you, the host, Gayle King, had a wonderful chat with none other than Dr. Fauci, my father, where she revealed to the Emperor of Earth, Dr. Fauci, that she will be banning members of her family from Thanksgiving this year unless they get the Jews. To which members of her family rejoiced, saying, "Wow, thanks for the easy out, Gayle. I didn't like her casserole anyway." Meanwhile, once the cameras were off and she wasn't a totally paid corporate shill, she revealed to her other family members, "I was just kidding, you can come." And they said, "No, don't worry about it. The turkey was dry. I'm not interested, Gayle." Meanwhile, on the exact same fear-mongering rectangular garbage box in the corner of your living room, Joy, aka Misery Behar, made another revealing sign about her lack of intelligence. Listening to Joy Behar speak is about as intellectually stimulating as listening to the garbage truck clamoring down my street at 6 o'clock in the morning. Misery Behar. Joy Behar is the co-host of ABC's The View, which is basically a television show of what it would be like if you were sitting at a round table in hell. On yesterday's episode of The Obstructed View from Inside the Dumpster, co-host Whoopi Cushion asked Joy if teenagers should be able to take matters into their own hands if their ignorant parents didn't allow them to get the juice. To which Misery replied, and I quote, "We like to think we're smarter than our kids, but a lot of times the kids are smarter than the parents." Yeah, not much of a stretch there, Joy. She said, "Kids are watching their parents behave really stupidly, and in my opinion, I think these kids should be able to make their own decisions, frankly. Keep in mind that you cannot purchase a can of spray paint legally under the age of 18, but you should be able..." Cool. Good one, Joy. You're doing great, Joy. She added, "The kids are at the mercy of these ignorant parents." To which I assume Whoopi Cushion responded, Cushion started her career in the 80s as a stand-up comedian, and turns out she's still a comedian masquerading as a person with facts and opinions we should care about, but instead she's just a total corporate puppet shill that isn't funny. In the past, Cushion has suggested that people who refuse to wear a face diaper should be denied the juice if they want it. She has also suggested that despite being double juiced herself, she would be wearing a face diaper when she leaves her house for the rest of her life. The View is basically what it would look like if you emptied a garbage can on a table, a bunch of people pushed it around, made snarky comments, and looked at each other like... Meanwhile, just a few hours later, the U.S. Surgeon General and none other than Dr. Can't Throw a Pitch himself suggested that you may actually need a third bite of the juice. Cool, just get yourself a boost. Yep, this will end soon for sure. Yep, this is good. Yep, you sure? Meanwhile, without skipping a beat, on the Clown News Network's show Out Front, which should be called Out Back in the Dumpster on Fire, Former Barry O. administration Health and Human Services Secretary suggested that Americans who have not received the juice should not be allowed to work, have access to children, and should be limited on where they are allowed to go. Oh well, nothing to see here. I'm sure this is nothing to be concerned about, as an American IT company contracted by the British government suggests that a new Corona Clap certification pass could soon be coming to the UK. That's not even that far of a stretch to imagine, as just yesterday, French jabroni Emmanuel Macaroons announced limitations on people who didn't get the juice, which includes not being able to go to a cafe, restaurant, bar, or take any flights. And what happened as a result of that? Oh yeah, thousands of people in France are protesting in the street right now. But hey, all this doom and gloom, who wants to pay attention to this stuff, right? It's not like gas prices are at record highs. It's not like the governments of California and New York are going to force your children to wear a diaper in school despite the rules that are set up by the Center for Garbage Control. It's not like they're just going to... Who cares about what's going on, right? It's depressing. Let's just not pay attention to it, and I'm sure it'll all just get better on its own. Sure.